For Valhalla!
They swore themselves to a god who traded an eye for wisdom. They bit their shields until iron split like bark. They were said to walk through fire and steel as if through morning mist. Some called them mad, others holy. History knows them as berserkers, the shock troops of the north, wolf or bear-clad, half myth, half terror, and wholly unforgettable. Tonight, we go hunting for the truth inside the legend, through saga, bone, law, and lab, to ask a single, dangerous question. What does it take to become a beast in the shape of a man? What a berserker was and wasn't. In Old Norse, berserker may mean bear shirt, the warrior wrapped in the bear's strength, or possibly bear shirt, fighting without mail. Either way, this was no farm militia. These were elite warbands, often attached to kings and chieftains as bodyguards and shock troops, sworn to Odin, god of war, frenzy, and ecstasy. Their legend feeds Europe's werewolf lore and our modern adjective, to go berserk. We meet them early in poetry and saga. In Ynglinga Saga, Snorri describes Odin's men as mad as dogs or wolves, biting their shields, striking with the strength of bears or bulls, neither fire nor iron harming them. The classic berserksgange, the going berserk. The earliest surviving reference to such warriors sits in the late 9th century praise poem Harald Skvethi, Hrafsmal, celebrating King Harald Fairhair. It calls his wolf-clad fighters and tasters of blood, ravens, to mind. A tight band that crashes through shields. Poetry, yes, but close to the Viking Age heartbeat. And then there is metal. The Torslunda plates, 6th to 7th century bronze dies from Irland, show a one-eyed figure, read Odin, dancing beside a wolf warrior. The image links ecstatic ritual, Odinic war magic, and beast warriors in a single stamp meant for elite gear. Mythic? Yes. But it's the visual grammar behind the berserker idea. States of war. Trance, theatre, or chemistry. Three great hypotheses stalk the berserker through time. 1. The shamanic trance. Across the circumpolar world, warrior-shaman traditions used drumming, chanting, breath, fasting to dissolve the boundary between human and animal. In a Norse key, this is Odin's ecstasy. Fury as religious technology. Enter as a man, emerge as a bear or wolf in spirit, if not in flesh. The saga's language of shape strength, humrummer, and wolf-bear shirts reads like ritual code for controlled possession. 2. The drug hypothesis. For decades, historians proposed that berserkers consumed the Amanita muscaria mushroom, the red and white fly agaric used in Siberian shamanism. Others suggest henbane, Hyoscyamus niger, a plant known to cause hallucinations, rage, and numbness to pain. But evidence is thin. No Norse texts mention mushrooms. No archaeological traces exist. Still, modern experiments show these substances can produce a violent, trance-like frenzy. So the berserker may have stood at the crossroads of religion, chemistry, and psychological conditioning. A proto-battle trance. 3. The battle trance/psychology model. You don't need plants to make monsters. Adrenaline, group ritual, expectation, and theater can induce dissociation and pain blunting. Imagine a chosen band in animal pelts roaring first into the line, a display crafted to terrify and break morale. Whether chemically assisted or not, this is psychological warfare engineered for impact. The sources consistently cast berserkers in that spear-tip role. Bears, wolves, and the Odinic deal. Berserkir are the bear shirts. Their cousins, the Ulfhethnar, the wolf coats. Both mirror Odin's cult: spear god, ecstasy giver, shapeshifter. In poetry and art, Odin leads the dance. The beast warriors carry it into blood and snow. Whether their pelts were uniform or totem, the message is the same. I am other than a man. And if war is theatre, costume is doctrine. Law, order, and outlawry. Legends say kings valued them, but as the North Christianized and royal law hardened, the berserkers' ecstatic violence curdled into crime. In Norway, sources report outlawing berserker activity in the early 11th century. In Iceland, the Gragas legal tradition treats berserksganga as an offense. By the 12th century, the organized bands fade from the record. The beast is no longer a hero. He's a heathen problem. Weapons of fear: how a few became many. Picture it. A hand-picked cell rushing without mail, pelts over shoulders, eyes wild. They howl, bite their shields, and slam into the line. It's not just the blows they land. It's the story the enemy tells himself. Steel won't bite them. Stories cut deeper than swords. And if your vanguard convinces a field of men that iron fails and fire slips, you've won before the second rank moves. That's the berserker's true weapon: belief. Yours and theirs. Do we have a grave that says, "Here lies a confirmed berserker"? Number. We have totemic pelts in burials, iconography, poetry, laws, and later prose. The archaeology is suggestive rather than decisive, but when text, image, and law point in the same direction, they don't hand us proof, they hand us a silhouette. It's enough to build a human from shadow.
Mushrooms, henbane, and the edge of the map? Let's be clear. Amanita muscaria makes great thumbnails, and it is ethnographically tied to Siberian shamanism, but Norse texts are silent on it. The henbane hypothesis is sharper. Topical, inhaled, or ingested, it can produce delirium, aggression, analgesia, and tachycardia, a pharmacological sketch of the berserker. Yet even that remains inference, not a smoking horn. The prudent answer is, multiple roads led to the same state. Ritual, rhythm, breath. Theater, loyalty, belief. Sometimes, maybe chemistry. The constant is the result. A human turned into a weaponized storm. The last question? What does it cost? If frenzy grants power, what does it cost? The sagas whisper an answer. After the storm, weakness. After exaltation, exile. After the gods' embrace, law's cold hand. If the berserker truly existed, he was not only a terror to others, he was dangerous to himself. And maybe that's why we still look for him, to learn how close we dare stand to our own internal fire. So were the berserkers divine, drugged, or simply dangerously human? The best answer is yes, sometimes one, sometimes the other, often a braid of all three. The North remembers them because we need them, the reminder that power without cost is myth, and that the thin line between mask and face is where history does its sharpest work. If you want more of the North, more fury, more gods, more receipts, stay. There are wolves yet to meet,